This is Part 2 Episode 189. Within the control room, Chiokai Ka and the other warriors watched the scene nervously. Go and die, it's best they fight, and killed each other. The Godmaster Pua said, staring hard at the projection. Watch carefully, observe what moves they have. Chiokai Ka emphasized. Even though we are all Emperor level, because we've been hiding for so long, we haven't truly fought with other emperors. And these invaders have been fighting for so long, we have to observe and gain experience by knowing their trump cards. We need to acquire the inheritance and treasure room. Just relying on plans won't be enough, we have to rely on strength. Yes, Elder. The other three nodded. They were already prepared to fight to the death. This battle would determine the growth of their entire race. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Within the first treasure room, Luo Feng kept the 3 cases he just got. Ice Blade and Purple Clock rushed in madly. This is part of an entire race's treasure, it's definitely worth much more than normal emperors. Purple Clock communicated, Ice Blade, even if we have to burn part of our undying bodies, we have to get the treasure. I know. Ice Blade's eyes were like little venomous snake eyes. Among the two of them, Ice Blade was huge while Purple Clock was small and skinny. In terms of strength, Purple Clock was Pinnacle Emperor while Ice Blade was only High Emperor. While the two of them communicated, their speed didn't slow down at all, as they rushed into the room. Luo Feng turned to look at the 2 Chichang warriors rush in. Humph! Luo Feng flipped his hand and a blood shadow blade appeared. At the same time, the silver wings on his back began to flap. Cloud Contact Vine, help stop them. Luo Feng ordered. Thin vines sprouted out from his arms. As they shot out, they began to swell rapidly, splitting into large amounts of vines and leaves, rushing like a tsunami at the 2 emperors. Even though the Cloud Contact Vine was only pinnacle official level, in terms of sturdiness and regeneration strength, its strength was akin to a low emperor human. Maybe the difference compared to a pinnacle Purple Clock and High Ice Blade was still huge, however simply slowing down and stopping was something it could still do easily. Blood Cloud. Purple Cloud howled. 2 bloody flowers shot out from his waist portion, extending and swiftly swelling. The huge flowers were like the ceiling itself, blocking the large number of vines. The vines tried to extend through the flowers, however the edges of the flowers were filled with sharp thorns. They began to madly bite at the Cloud Contact Vine. In terms of attacking, the Cloud Contact Vine was obviously weaker, it madly wrapped around its enemy. The 2 fought on, and were evenly matched. It's rare for normal undyings and even officials to have a plant life form. It's only common amongst emperors. However, they normally only manage to grow them to pinnacle general level, or low official. Luo Feng frowned at the scene. I didn't expect Purple Clock to have a pinnacle official blood demon flower. Don't think of escaping. Purple Clock twisted his ugly face into a malevolent smile. Humph! Luo Feng flapped and became a blur beam of light, wanting to escape through the 100 wide entrance. It was troublesome to be trapped in this small room. The moment he got out, however, it would be much easier. Cackle. An ear-piercing laughter resounded as a huge blade slashed at Luo Feng. Break. A glaring silver light tore through the space like a stream, dispersing the huge blade slash, causing the space around to break apart like glass. However, it quickly recovered. Luo Feng's speed was affected even though he dispersed the enemy attack. At this time, a voice resounded from behind. Yang, I'm here to help you. Piercing Tiger. Luo Feng was happy within. It was indeed hard for him to escape from the room. But, with Piercing Tiger here, he naturally could fight it out or find a chance to escape. Piercing Tiger. An ear-piercing howl resounded from the room. The small and skinny Purple Clock turned, and his expression was malevolent. 3 fiery clocks appeared before him, each causing the space to crumble about it. After which they all flew towards Piercing Tiger wielding 2 huge axes. Ha ha ha. Piercing Tiger laughed madly. Split. He used his left axe to protect himself, as his right axe slashed downwards. This slash caused the land and skies to split apart. The terrifying force caused the space around to go into disarray. Purple Clock gritted his teeth and used his fire clocks to block the axe slashing at the blood demon flower. Rumble, the axe clashed with the clocks. The force of the clash caused the engravings about the tower to flash. Later on they took the brunt of the attack, leaving the tower undamaged. Ice Blade, you and Blood Cloud attack the human together. I'll stop Piercing Tiger. Purple Clock howled. Wait, once Gold Kang comes, we'll win for sure. We don't need to defeat them, just block the entrance and not let them out, we'll definitely win. Leave it to me. Ice Blade howled. Purple Clock and Piercing Tiger fought outside the entrance, while Luo Feng and Ice Blade fought within. Luo Feng rushed over and over. Even though he could suppress Ice Blade, with Ice Blade bravely stopping him, along with the Blood Demon Flower's help, Luo Feng couldn't escape. Gold Kang. Purple Clock, who was getting fatigued, saw a beam of lightning shooting over, and was extremely happy. That lightning bolt was Gold Kang. He flashed. Gold Kang had arrived. Get out of the way. He howled. It resounded directly within Piercing Tiger's mind. The formless soul attack was like a powerful bolt, attacking madly within his mind, destroying the spirit imprints within his undying body. Even though Gold Kang was proficient in body amplification, not soul, his soul attacks were still quite powerful. Piercing Tiger felt his soul shake as he stammered. Rumble. Gold Kang's huge foot violently smashed into Piercing Tiger's head, crushing him in. Piercing Tiger was knocked hard into a distant wall. The walls shook a little, and the engravings flashed. Make way. Gold Kang communicated. Understood. Purple Clock communicated via soul directly to the Blood Demon Flower, Blood Cloud, let Gold Kang through. The entrance, which was heavily clogged with the flower, swiftly formed a pathway, and Gold Kang rushed in. Within the room, the Blood Demon Flower and the Cloud Contact Vine had both almost taken up the entire room, causing it to become a world of plants and flowers. Human. Gold Kang rushed in straight at Luo Feng. Die. A long ancient thunder pike appeared in Gold Kang's hands. It flashed as Gold Kang roared, and his body shrank by one size. However, gold light surrounded his entire body, was almost like a gold metal. This scene terrified Luo Feng. Body amplification technique. Body amplification techniques would cause changes to the body. Gold Kang had unleashed his move. Gold Kang roared and waved his pike, and all the power was concentrated at the tip. Within the small confined space, it moved at close to light speed. Luo Feng had no time to dodge, he could only wrap his body in his wings as Gold Kang unleashed his technique, using the wings to protect himself. The thunder pike clashed with his wings. Luo Feng was knocked backwards, as the thunder pike continued on hit the wall. Accurately speaking, the pike didn't pierce through the wings, however the force was strong enough to stick Luo Feng against the wall. What? Gold Kang was extremely shocked. I didn't destroy his body. Even though he knew it was extremely hard to kill an emperor, this human Yang was only High Emperor. With his full strength, even if he didn't kill him, he should have destroyed his body. Yang. I'll stop Gold Kang. Night Emperor rushed over in a blur. Piercing Tiger was fighting with Purple Clock. Night Emperor. Gold Kang turned, his eyes flashing and raging at Night Emperor. Even though Luo Feng had blocked his attack, Gold Kang was still clear that the biggest threat in the human team was Night Emperor, followed by Piercing Tiger. They were both pinnacle emperors after all. The smallest threat was Yang. Ice Blade, stop Piercing Tiger. Gold Kang immediately ordered. Purple Clock, even if you have to burn your undying body, we have to get the treasure. Leave Night to me. Okay. Purple Clock gritted his teeth, and instantly rushed into the room. Ice Blade rushed to block Piercing Tiger. As for Gold Kang, he waved one hand, the thunder pike landed in his hand as his cold gaze landed on Night Emperor. His body glowed with green light with the body amplification technique. The formless pressure he gave off made Night Emperor shudder. He had to be careful. Burn my undying body to get the treasure. Purple Clock gritted his teeth, as his eyes were filled with madness. Luo Feng wielded his blood shadow blade, looking at Purple Clock. At this critical point of the battle, burning one's undying body was the solution. Looks like, to get the treasure, everyone will have to burn their undying bodies. Luo Feng thought. But, I don't have an undying body. Hand the treasure over. Or, die. Purple Clock's eyes were filled with madness. Rumble. 3 fire clocks revolved. They were almost like small stars burning intensely and rushing at Luo Feng. 3 fire clocks burned the space about into stream particles. They revolved and formed a huge fireball which rushed towards Luo Feng, even controlling the space around and forcing Luo Feng into a corner, making it difficult for him to even move. The incredibly hot fireball rushed over. HMPH, controlling space. Luo Feng flapped his wings and the wings easily tore through the suppressed space, unleashing strike travel. He left behind 3 visible warps, making the fire clocks hit nothing but the wall, causing the engravings to once again shine and leave the walls undamaged again. What terrifying speed! Purple Clock's eyes were filled with shock and rage. Even though he knew that this human was proficient in speed, to dodge in such a confined space left him baffled. A spirit weapon attack was actually dodged. Of course, the combined attack of his 3 fire clocks became much slower together. However, at such close distance, even normal emperors wouldn't have been able to dodge at all. Purple Clock, don't waste time. Gold Kang roared within. Bastard, leaving me the troublesome one to deal with. He cursed within, after which his eyes gleamed as he looked at Luo Feng, roaring, human, go and die. Howl. Purple Clock raged as terrifying undying energy erupted from within his body, causing Gold Kang and Night Emperor to change their expressions. Burning his undying body. Good. Ice Blade's eyes gleamed as he engaged Piercing Tiger. Ha ha. Gold Kang couldn't help but laugh. Burning his undying body. Yang is going to be in trouble. Piercing Tiger was shocked. Yang, be careful. It wasn't just them who noticed what happened. In the core of the control room, the group of indigenous warriors held their breaths and watched as well. They then muttered, die, die, hurry and die. In their eyes, these invaders were better off killing each other. Within the treasure room, Purple Clock burned his undying body, and his energy grew even stronger than Gold Kang's. Break. He looked coldly at Luo Feng, putting part of his burning undying energy into the 3 fire clocks, making them form 3 fireballs. Even though they seemed like normal fireballs, every one of them was much more terrifying than a star. They could easily pierce through a star like an iron needle through tofu. Luo Feng could currently treat stars as playthings. However, against these 3 fireballs, he could only rely on his wings and the general armor to defend him. They were lightning fast, forming together and attacking. Luo Feng knew. I cannot dodge, I can only defend. As the 3 clocks had to revolve to form 1 fireball before, it was much slower. This time, they rushed together. And infused with burning undying energy, their power was over 1,000 times stronger. How fast was it? Luo Feng could only hide behind his wings and cover himself. Rumble. 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 The first clock hit Luo Feng's wings and knocked him back into the wall. The terrifying force caused the entire room to shake. The engravings madly shining as the tower began to shake. It was using its entire construct to defuse the attack. The second clock hit. And then the third clock. Luo Feng was pinned against the wall. Rumble. TE space around the room instantly crumbled into stream particles. Amidst the mad explosions, the engravings shined madly, trying to defuse the attack. Gradually, the space recovered and peace followed. This? Ice Blade stared wide-eyed, his ugly face was warped. WA. Piercing Tiger opened his mouth wide. Night Emperor couldn't even speak, his eyes filled with surprise and joy. How can this be? Gold Kang stopped his attack against Night and stared at the scene. I. Purple Clock's expression was complex, shocked and in disbelief. Against the wall of the room, Luo Feng gradually slid down and stood back up, smiling at Purple Clock before him. I actually didn't destroy him. I burned 3% of my body and he didn't explode. He was stunned. Burning the undying body was akin to burning one's soul. If he burned 50% of his undying body, that would mean losing half his soul, and his strength wouldn't even be 10% of what it was before. And burning too much would cause one to lose too much of his soul, and would be unable to maintain a complete consciousness, falling into slumber. A god's slumber, he would gradually recover his soul in that state. This process took an extremely long time, past trillions of years, or maybe never even waking up. Hence normally they would only burn 5% of their bodies. Recovering this much wasn't too hard. Imbuing the attack with that much energy, like how he did with his 3 fire clocks, 3% of his undying energy was enough, unless one truly simply decided to self-destruct. Self-destruction had an absolute power and superior advantage, and it would reduce their enemies to nothing. Purple Clock thought. Burning 3% of his undying body would at least destroy 10 to 20% of his opponent's undying body. That was normal. However, Luo Feng's wings weren't even scratched. Good. Piercing Tiger roared excitedly. Yang, your survival ability sure is incredibly. Do you have a Pinnacle Emperor plant protecting you? Or Pinnacle Emperor metal life form? Knight communicated surprised, as those were the highest probabilities. The plant and metal life forms naturally have advantages in their physical states. If one had a Pinnacle plant life form, its body will far exceed an Emperor Pinnacle human. Also, its regenerative abilities could definitely withstand that attack. Ha ha. Luo Feng laughed. Knight and Piercing Tiger didn't ask more. Who didn't have their own trump cards? Yang's trump cards were probably related to survival and fleeing, only it was at a simply absurd level. Ha ha, the treasure is ours. Knight Emperor communicated excitedly. Hurry and escape from the room, we will escape later on. After we get out, we will teleport and distribute the treasure. Right, let's go. Piercing Tiger said too. The battle scene had changed. Before, Gold Kang, Purple Clock and Ice Blade had the advantage. They had planned for Purple Clock to destroy Luo Feng's body. Once it was destroyed, his weapons and world ring and so on will be thrown around. Naturally they could take the chance to get the world ring at that time. The world ring was after all just a storage world. They would have their own ways to get the treasure within. However now, Gold Kang, I cannot deal with him. Purple Clock communicated. Gold Kang, what do we do? Ice Blade said nervously. I didn't expect this little human, who seemed the weakest, to have such a move. He definitely has treasures that aren't proficient in attack, or some metal, or plant life form. Gold Kang's eyes raged. Purple Clock, Ice Blade, you two are useless, completely useless. I'll have to go all out now. The two seemed enraged. When we get the treasure, I get 70%. Purple Clock you get 20% and Ice Blade you only get 10%. Gold Kang communicated. Otherwise I lose too much. Okay. No problem. Ice Blade and Purple Clock weren't stupid, they knew that with Yang's defense, only Gold Kang could actually destroy his body while burning his undying body. The cost of this Emperor limit burning his undying body, just how high was that? Getting 70% was indeed natural. Then watch me. Gold Kang's eyes gleamed with lightning flashing within. Asterisk 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 asterisk. It may seem slow, but in truth after Purple Clock's attack against Luo Feng failed, only a few seconds had passed before Gold Kang went all out. YA. Green light began to shine from Gold Kang's entire body. Rumble. Terrifying energy filled the room. It shook the walls and the engravings flashed. This scene made Luo Feng, Knight, Ice Blade and the others all shocked. Not good, Gold Kang is going all out. He's burning his undying body. Flee. Everybody, including Luo Feng, was shocked. Gold Kang was an Emperor limit warrior. With his body amplification technique, he could unleash up to 1,000,000 Sector Lord's strength. If he self-destructed, it would be even more terrifying than Luo Feng's Million King Bug Army combined attack. Even if it was only burning a small part of his undying body, it was incredibly terrifying. However, once one reaches his level, the cost of burning any bit of the undying body was huge. Unless one was forced into a corner, they would never do so. Flee! 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 Luo Feng and the others panicked, as no one dared to take on Gold Kang in this state. Howl! Gold Kang let out a roar, easily reaching the closest Night Emperor beside. So fast. Night couldn't even dodge. Rumble! A lightning-infused large palm smacked Night Emperor's head. With a rumble, Night Emperor was immediately reduced to ashes. The winged human Night Emperor, who was reduced to ashes, had incredibly weak amount of energy left. The scene made Luo Feng, who was about to flee the room, shocked. From his energy level, Gold Kang had actually instantly made Night Emperor lose half his undying body. 50%. Losing half his soul made it so that Night Emperor could only unleash 10% of his strength from before. The soul was very important. Gold Kang, don't force me. Night Emperor's eyes were filled with madness as he reformed, staring hard at Gold Kang. Gold Kang was incredibly intrepid now. Even if Night Emperor burned his undying body, he still couldn't escape. He could only hope for Gold Kang to spare him. If forced, I'll. Night stared at Gold Kang. Self-destruct. Ha ha, do you think that if you do so, I'll be afraid? My undying body won't be hurt even a little from it. Ha ha, I've already destroyed half of your undying body, and destroying the other half will kill you. So, why should I let you off? Just die. Gold Kang didn't show any mercy. Remember, I will return to take revenge. Night Emperor roared. Explode. 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 Night Emperor howled. Self-destructing with only 50% of his undying body left, that was the result of Gold Kang's undying energy destroying Night Emperor's other half. Hence his explosion wouldn't be too huge. At this time, Gold Kang could take the blow alone, but who would be that stupid? Gold Kang chose to retreat. Rumble, a Pinnacle Emperor's self-destruct, it was so powerful it made everyone else, such as Purple Clock, Ice Blade, Piercing Tiger, and Luo Feng shocked. Pinnacle Emperor self-destruct was akin to 1,000,000 Sector Lord King bugs attacking together. This was able to kill a High Emperor, heavily injure a Pinnacle Emperor, or even cause the Pinnacle Emperor to fall because of it, but of course that required luck. Even though Night Emperor only had 50% of his undying body left, it was still half of a Pinnacle Emperor's explosion. Unlike Gold Kang's attack that destroyed him, this was an explosion that rippled in all directions. There was no way to control the direction of attack. Self-destructing meant the death of a god, his energy would ripple in all directions. No. Ice Blade, who was engaged with Piercing Tiger, changed his expression. Gold Kang, you caused this. Ice Blade fled in fear. Rumble. The powerful force instantly acted on his body. The High Emperor Ice Blade was instantly reduced to ashes, and his ashes were further destroyed. Night Emperor, you are dragging me along with you. Piercing Tiger rushed into the room in shock. Rumble. The force rushed over Piercing Tiger like a torrent of water. His armor gleamed before his entire body exploded, after which he reformed. Rumble. The force rippled through Purple Clock's body. He gritted his teeth and a membrane flashed throughout his body, withstanding the attack for a while before his body became powder too, after which he reformed back. Rumble. Luo Feng wrapped himself in his wings and withstood the attack. Gold Kang, Purple Clock, Ice Blade, Piercing Tiger, and Luo Feng all withstood the force of Night Emperor's explosion. Some were undamaged, some hurt while one fell. Not just the 5 of them. Even the sacrificial tower wasn't as stable as before against the force of a Pinnacle Emperor's explosion. The walls within the pathway and room glowed madly from the force before breaking apart and crumbling as the ripples spread about. Every wall gleamed for a while before falling apart, however with each layer of wall it broke through, the power slowly diminished too. With a diameter of 60 kilometers, a circular crater was formed as everything was reduced to nothing. The tower itself was made of F-grade metals. This was a special weapon, and just like how many weapons could become big or small, this tower could do so as well. However, it was closer to a god base or star fortress level of weapon, but its internal defense wasn't the same throughout. The inheritance room and second treasure room, these two important rooms had higher defenses. The walls outside the core region were incredibly strong as well. Although there were many walls within, they were weaker. Even with the help of the mysterious engravings, Night Emperor's explosions still destroyed an area of 60 kilometers in diameter. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Silence. Within the tower, there was silence. Luo Feng and Piercing Tiger exchanged glances, communicating. Night Emperor actually made me lose 6% of my undying body, what a waste. Piercing Tiger communicated, however Yang, we are in trouble. Night Emperor's death is a big loss to our strength. Even though they've lost Ice Blade too, he was only a High Emperor. There is not much of an effect on the remaining two. What a pity for Night Emperor. Luo Feng replied. What's there to pity, isn't he a human? You humans value each and every emperor. Even if they fall, they will be revived after reversing space and time in the future. Piercing Tiger said. It's a pity that I don't have that kind of luck. Even though I am a member of the Hong Alliance too, for me to get that kind of chance, I have to earn more contribution points to raise my position. Luo Feng was shocked. A universe master had unbelievable power, and they could reverse time and space to a point before the target hadn't died, reviving a warrior. Humanity had several beings that could do so, like the founder of the Huge Axe Dojo, the Primal Chaos City leader, Long Yang Master, Void Gold Master. They would, in a certain point in time, revive a large amount of warriors together. Those revived were either very strong, or had great contributions, or were disciples of important people, etc. However, it did have its price. The Universe Masters paid very little for reviving someone like Night Emperor. However, the small price was only to beings like them. They couldn't possibly swallow the costs. These had to be returned eventually by the warriors who were revived. They either had to fight for humanity, or get treasures to give to humanity. Poor Night Emperor. Even if he is revived, he'll have to fight for humanity for a very long time. Luo Feng thought. However, it's already lucky that he has such a chance. As for the other races, some races didn't even have a being like a universe master. Even if they joined the Hong Alliance, the requirement just to be considered for revival far exceeded that of the humans. No one wanted to fall. The stronger one got, the higher the price of revival would be. The Primal Chaos City leader had said himself that reviving a knight would make him receive a backlash from the universe laws that could damage even him. If he revived a being like Shiluo Duo, or the Tianxia Palace leader, he may even fall from the backlash. One had to know that the city leader's power far exceeded Shiluo Duo and the others. But he could fall from reviving them. It was clear that the backlash was terrifying. Night Emperor would be revived sometime in the future. The price he would have to pay could only be imagined. Gold Kang, that Night Emperor was about to flee, why did you force him? Purple Clock was enraged. Even Ice Blade has fallen. Ice Blade was from the Chi Keng race too. Even as a fellow clansman, Purple Clock didn't respect him too much. But, they had explored together and were of the same race, hence they trusted each other. I got hurt from his explosion too. Purple Clock raged. And humanity is one of the 4 pinnacle races. Some universe master being will eventually revive him. Shut up. Gold Kang cursed, that will take countless years to happen. Even if he is revived, he still won't be my match. I only know that I can get his wealth from killing him. With a wave of his hand, he kept the world rings and items from Night Emperor and Ice Blade. Don't let the other humans escape. Gold Kang roared. Luo Feng flapped his wings in the distance and unleashed strike travel, swiftly accelerating and disappearing down the pathway. You can't escape. Gold Kang chased behind. Humph. Purple Clock chased behind too. Piercing Tiger stood amidst the waste and watched the scene, smiling coldly. Everybody is going mad for this treasure. They are burning their undying bodies or falling. That Gold Kang's strength is something I should avoid. Even if I attack him, I will die. He flew down another pathway swiftly. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Within the control room. The elder Chiao Kai Ka, the Godmaster Puri, Men Bu, La Di Mo, the four indigenous warriors stared at the projection. When they saw Night Emperor's explosion damaging the other warriors and killing Ice Blade, they all revealed a look of happiness and shock. Look, the talisman. That's the talisman. Night and Ice Blade's death made the originally melded into their bodies talismans fall to the ground. Go, hurry and go. You invaders, leave the talismans. The elder hoped. But no one would have expected Gold Kang to wave his hand and keep all the items that fell from their deaths. This made Chiao Kai Ka and the others change their expressions. They are heading out of the tower. But the talismans are still with them. The Godmaster Puri said urgently. Third brother, the moment they leave and teleport, we will never be able to open the inheritance room. The elder gritted his teeth and roared, listen to my order. Puri, Men Bu and La Di Mo's eyes gleamed, listening to the order from their elder, they knew that it was time to move. This video will end here.